I'm often asked how I take care of my skin, and today I'm really excited to share my regimen. And part of the reason is that I realize that I get a lot of confidence from having quote unquote good skin, and a lot of my tricks are really simple. So I want to share those with you today. My name is Dr. Melissa Chiang, and I'm a board-certified dermatologist. So I've been studying structure and function of the skin for over 20 years, as well as being immersed in the literature regarding what is evidence-based and helpful for the skin. And there are so many things that have come up in the last 20 years, and I'm excited to share with you my thoughts on what is evidence-based that works for maintaining good, healthy skin. As you well know, signs of aging of the skin include fine lines, wrinkles, changes in texture, pigmentation, pore size, and I can only imagine how frustrating it would be if you were having these concerns and you didn't know how to approach them, or you were trying different approaches and they weren't working well for you. Today, we are really going to be talking about prevention and maintenance. And the reason why is because I think these tips apply to all skin types, whether fair-skinned, where the common issues are more of fine lines and wrinkles, versus more darker pigmented skin, where we tend to deal more so with pigmentation issues. First, and I know this sounds kind of boring, but you need to concentrate on your overall health. So what that means is getting good sleep, eating a healthy, nutritious diet that includes a rainbow of fruits and vegetables, hydration, maintaining your stress. And if you're in that age range of middle age where you're perimenopausal, also thinking about your hormones, because when our hormones plummet in that perimenopausal phase, we start to age much more quickly. The slope just becomes really rapidly declining. And that's where I am right now. And so I think that's why I'm so passionate about sharing the tips that I'm going to share with you. Secondly, and this is more skin specific, you need to build a routine. And so I think the most important elements of a good skincare routine, the most basic elements are number one, at the end of the day, you've got to cleanse your face of all the makeup and the pollutants from the day. And secondly, seal the moisture in with a good moisturizer. In the morning, sun protection is the most important aspect of your skin care routine. And then just doing things that protect yourself from the sun throughout the day. So it might mean applying more sunscreen, maybe it means wearing a hat or protective clothing. But those three things, cleansing of the day, moisturizing, and protecting yourself from the sun, are the most basic elements. Now, if you want to be a little more fancy, and I recommend that you probably start to add one or two more elements in your 30s and your 40s. The first thing I'd recommend is starting a retinol, and that can be a prescription retinoid, but it can also be an over-the-counter retinol, and there are medical grade retinols for people with more sensitive skin. But what retinols do is they clean your pores, they exfoliate your skin, so they keep it actively turning over, and they help with fine lines and wrinkles. Then if you want to add an additional step, the next step would be antioxidants like vitamin C. And vitamin C and other antioxidants have been shown to be really helpful with pigmentation and fine lines. And then finally, if you want to be a little bit more fancy, the newest technology that I'm really excited about is exosomes. And what exosomes do is they actually communicate with your skin cells to tell your skin cells to rejuvenate. And they also peel the skin in case you're injured. So I think if you want to be more fancy again, start with retinols, antioxidants, and exosomes. If you want to know my personal skincare routine, including the specific products, let me know in the comments. Third, consider procedures. And I'm going to share with you some of the procedures that I think are the most helpful. I think that getting a regular chemical peel, and this can be a very superficial chemical peel, is very helpful for just turning the skin cells over. So for example, every week for the last 5 or 6 weeks, I have given myself a very superficial salicylic acid chemical peel. Just gave myself one yesterday. And I think what it's done is, number one, it helps my topical skincare get into my skin better because I'm like shedding off some of those layers. But number two, one of the things that I struggle with is pigmentation. And so it helps me with my pigmentation without giving me a lot of downtime. Energy-based treatments are also very helpful for maintaining the collagen in your skin and the elasticity. And so personally for myself, I don't have a lot of downtime. And I'm just gonna tell you what I'm about to do because I'm turning 48 at the end of the month. And I'm going to be having an ultrasound treatment, both superficial and deep. So that includes soft wave anal therapy. And then I am also going to be having some collagen biostimulators. And I have to choose between Radius and Sculptra. Maybe I'll do both. But those are my favorites for just helping to maintain the quality of the skin and the elasticity. So one of the things I've noticed is if you go like this and you can really pull your skin out, that means you lost some of the elasticity and the snap of your skin. And at 48, this is what I can do. And I think it's years of sculpture, radius, and energy treatments that have made it so that my skin is this way. And anyone can participate in these treatments. I know there's a lot of interest on the internet about chemical peels at home. And I think that actually can be very helpful. I am not opposed to doing it yourself. The thing is, though, you do have to be careful. Different peels can provide different depths of injury. And if you have a very superficial injury, you can heal at home with no problem. If you have a medium or a deeper type of injury, or if you don't know how to control the injury, then you can get a reaction that can result in pigmentation that lasts for a really long time, or even scarring. So that's where I would say sometimes we don't know what we don't know. So just proceed with caution. You at home, you would only want to do something very superficial. And also, if you are interested in exfoliating at home, you don't even have to do a peel. You can just use an acid that is supposed to be applied topically to the skin and do it frequently, like daily, as long as your skin tolerates it. Minimal risk and still some results. I hope you've enjoyed what I've shared with you. I've tried to break it up into super simple, everyone can do this themselves at home, to techniques that are tiny bit more advanced but still doable at home, to procedures that we do in the clinic where we can have big impacts in short durations, and maybe that cadence would be more like every 6 months to yearly. If you would like to know the various and many things that I have done throughout my 20s, 30s, and 40s to help maintain my skin, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to share.